Actor Dax Shepard revealing a recent relapse after marking 16 years of sobriety. Shepard disclosed his struggle with painkillers and becoming sober again during his podcast. TJ Holmes is here with more on this deeply personal revelation. Good morning, TJ.
Hey, good morning to you there, Robin. Dax Shepard had recently what his wife called a sobriety birthday, celebrating 16 years of being sober. He was high, he says, at that birthday celebration. He has been open over the years about sobriety, about addiction, and now he's being open about a relapse that not even those closest to him knew about.
Dax Shepard, candid, opening up to reveal his recent relapse in his battle with addiction.
I've known intellectually that things are going to get worse, that each encounter with it has gotten more shady and more dangerous.
In a deeply personal conversation on his podcast, Armchair Expert, the Parenthood and Bless This Mess actor,
I know exactly how you feel, and I can help.
Tells his podcast co-host he had recently been abusing painkillers following several motorcycle and ATV accidents. He says he convinced himself he had everything under control.
For the last 8 weeks, I'm on them all day. In my addicty brain, I'm like, I'm doing all the dishes and I'm being a dad, and it's feeling very manageable. And then I start lying to you pretty regularly.
Shepard, with the support of his wife, actress Kristen Bell, has been very public about his struggles with alcohol and cocaine. He says he knew he needed help after lying to his friends and family.
I'm gaslighting you, and I know I am, and I'm making you feel crazy, and I'm making Kristen feel crazy. And then I tell you guys everything.
Yeah.
And I give you the remaining stuff I have, and I say, please help me, because I'm not doing this well.
Shepard says he first relapsed abusing painkillers 8 years ago following a motorcycle accident, while he was also dealing with his late father's cancer diagnosis.
8 years into sobriety, I had not done a single shady thing. There was nothing gray. I hadn't done anything gray.
He says he got clean and didn't have another incident until this year. He says he was recently high earlier this month as he was celebrating 16 years sober. Bell sharing this post at the time reading, "Thank you for dedicating your life to the hard and wonderful work of sobriety so that we could share it with you." Shepard called his 16-year sobriety celebration the worst hour of his life.
I was high at the meeting having people tell me that they admire my sobriety. And I said, it was the worst thing in the world. I'm really at that point thinking, like, this is my life on the line.
Speaking out now, he says, hoping he can help others with his experience.
The only thing I would hope people would hear is that, at least in my case, the outcome wasn't anything like I feared it would be. And the secrets are so much more painful than whatever the fallout from owning my secrets was.
A lot of people are going to hear this message because he has a wildly popular podcast listened to by millions. Even Forbes named him one of the top 5 earners who are podcasters. And Robin, he says he's restarting now his sobriety. So as of today, it would be 14 days sober for Dax Shepard.
Wow, so raw and so real. Hey, TJ, thank you. Going to bring in Dr. Jennifer Ashton with more on what we need to know about addiction, relapse, and recovery. And Jen, when I still can't get over just how revealing, how transparent Dax was, and that's going to be so helpful to so many people. If someone is suffering from addiction like Dax, what do doctors need to take into consideration when they're treating them?
Well, Robin, that's a really important question, and I think it really needs to become like asking a patient if they have any allergies to foods or medications. You know, it's important to remember that someone who is living with addiction and is in sobriety, the roots of the addiction are still there. So patients who are sober still have accidents, still have elective surgery, and they do need pain medication. But in a lot of cases, there can be safer options. So absolutely, doctors need to ask about it.
So what role also does medication play when dealing with addiction, treating addiction?
Well, I think it's important to remember that it's not one size fits all. This requires an aggressive therapeutic and management approach that is lifelong, but there are a lot of options. Number one, medication should be considered a first-line treatment. I spoke to one of the top addiction therapists and physicians in the country, and he said this is grossly underutilized. Medications that are FDA approved for addiction can help to focus the person and prevent cravings that are really biochemical initially in nature, and then it should be combined with behavioral therapy and counseling. And again, this is a lifelong approach, like someone with diabetes or high blood pressure.
Lifelong. All right, Jen, thank you. Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.